This is the second film showing you the principles of drawing in 3D using TurboCAD, and again I'm using TurboCAD Professional 18.1. So we're already in isometric here. We're looking down. I've chosen a box and I can click and click again and move my mouse up, and there's my box. If I click here again, and there's another box, and I can go on and on and on drawing boxes. Now the base of this box is the same as the base of that box. They're both sitting on the same surface, the same work plane. And here's all our workplane tools. We're just going to look at two of them today, and this is just an introduction to the theory, the principles of using workplanes to manipulate your 3D drawing. If I now draw a cylinder, that cylinder again is on the same work plane. If I push down on my wheel mouse and turn it round, we can see quite clearly they're all sitting on the same plane. So what happens if I want to draw a cylinder on top of this surface here? What I've got to do is say this is the plane that I now want to work on. And the tool I use is this one here, which is called Workplane by Facet. When you get the hang of this more, you can do an automatic workplane by facet, but at the beginning just do workplane by facet. Click onto the tool. As you go around, you'll see each facet, each side, highlighted. So if I click on to there, now my workplane is across the top of that. Now whatever I draw is not necessarily on that surface, it's on that workplane, so not particularly on that object. If I want to make sure, say if I draw a cylinder and I want it in the center of that object, what I could do is I could get a line tool, which I can go here, pick up a line tool. I could snap to that point there with a V snap on my keyboard and a V snap here. I could go back to my 3D model tools, pick up a cylinder, go over here, click M on my keyboard for midpoint of that circle, and there's my cylinder, and there it's on top of that box. Hit the space bar, click onto the line, delete the line because it was just a bit of construction geometry. If I want a cylinder coming out from this surface, I do workplane by facet, come over here, select that, and I can do a cylinder from here. That cylinder's now coming out from that surface. And it's really as simple as that. You just have to understand that, it doesn't know what surface you want to work on. You've just got to tell it. Now if I want to go back to my default workplane, which is the base of these boxes and this cylinder, I've got this tool here, which is Workplane by Entity. If I click onto that, click onto my first object, my work plane is now back where it was, and now when I draw a cylinder again, it's back to that surface. And it's as simple as that. And you've got all the snaps. So if I want another cylinder coming out from here in the center of there, work plane by facet, make that the center, pick up the cylinder, go over there, hit C for center, I've centered it on that circle, come up there. I want to put the work plane back, which is a good idea to make sure you don't get too confused. Work plane by entity, click on there, my work plane's back. And it's as simple as that. Okay, I'm going to keep this one short. That's the end of that. Next ones will be about other of these 3D objects.